Welcome to a 5-minute tour of the Come Corning section called Work at Corning. If you're listening, you should be an HR manager or a hiring manager with a new hire and looking for a clear picture of the content your new hires are experiencing in Become Corning and the type of activities they perform there. Let's open it up. So Work at Corning is designed to get new hires to dig into how they fit in and how to excel at their job. There's several activities in this area that ask new hires to do some offline work, such as interviewing people either on their team or outside of their team, and come back and produce a report about that interview. These reporting activities are actually a very critical part of earning points and badges and getting credit towards completion. Each of them are worth 100 points. So the first tab is about knowing your job. Here they get their intro from the guys at the course and expectations around the badges they'll be earning. Then they get into the content that they can start using right away. I'll give you a quick peek of this particular bit of content.
So the first part of
Amy starts talking about what it means to understand your job, and they start getting some tools that they can use right away, both in these exercises and beyond the course itself. For example, this SIPOC model, and they get a worksheet that describes that model in more detail and that they can download and start working with. They learn about SMART goals here. They get some external expertise on clarifying expectations with their team. There's a discussion with the cohort about job expectations and some more advice from colleagues at the firm about job expectations. Again, all of this content is building towards this big activity. And in this activity, they describe their job in detail using that SIPOC model. So that's the first section of Work at Corning. Then the next one is called Fit in the Organization. Here's where they learn how Corning is structured. There are 3 activities in this section. It's a pretty meaty section here. There are 3 activities, one being explore your matrix. For example, here is another opportunity for them to interview colleagues in their matrix that are outside of their immediate team. So they're guided with a set of questions of who is this person, list some ways you can be more successful. This is all to scaffold a conversation that they're having with the person outside their team in order to figure out how they can be most effective working with that person in that role, in their role. So that's another example of an activity. Let's go on to the next section, Excel at Work. Here's where they get advice and guidance on how to excel through the quality process, through innovation and leadership. In here, they're building off of the IDEMAIC Yellow Belt course, and they're asked to produce their first IDEMAIC and reflect on opportunities to innovate in their own particular area. All of this study and all this content, again, is leading towards producing a report on a particular area for improvement that they're interested in. This happens at the end. Each section has an activity at the end. So it takes considerable work to earn this badge, Excel at Work. So you get the idea of the effort involved. And when you get the progress report on your new hires, you can understand what they put into earning their Excel at Work badge, or perhaps why they haven't quite yet had the time to do it. But you can encourage them to keep up the great work, keep going, and talk to you about the activity as they progress. Let's just peek into the other few sections. In the businesses, they get a curated view of the organizational model. They can dip into each of the business's purposes. Each business, there's an overview of the products and the leaders there. There's an activity around aligning with business strategy. Moving on to the functions tab, similar setup here. There's some required overview of the organization model and where the functions fit in, some optional deep dive into R&D, into the global manufacturing quality and all the different staff functions if they want to explore those more deeply. And they do have a required activity again to interview someone. Let's look at it. Someone a partner they work with outside of their team, and identify how they can be a more effective partner. That one would get them another 100 points. Okay, and finally, there's the location section, which gives them a snapshot of all of the locations, the regions, the offices and plants, and a short exercise to get them familiar with their own location. So as you know, when progress is made, they see it in two places. If they just earned a badge, a red spot would pop up there saying congrats on that badge you just earned. And then here's where all the progress accumulates for them. Their score, I've got this many points, I've earned this many badges, and all of this content is generated automatically into the progress reports that you get on all your new hires approximately every 2 weeks. So encourage them to keep up the great work. And that concludes the tour of the Work at Corning section. You can close this out now and pick another tour. Thanks.